Aye. There's only two of you here. We're the five of you. Aye, we're gonna be short man now on our trip. There's gonna be trouble on the last time of the Incorrigible party.
What brings you over here?
Well, unfortunately, a tragedy back home that I was hoping to find Falzer and convince him to return with me for the memorial.
I walk over and sit down. I go, yeah, I went to the gooey goblin, and
did you not get gooey enough, or what?
didn't like the look.
Goblin's not gooey.
Stuff not gooey.
Not gooey. Gozer make stuff gooey.
No thanks.
Well, you and I both know if we don't finish the job for Detmer,
Yeah.
it's going to be hell to pay there, too.
Our names are on that contract.
We're between a rock and a hard place here, and I think this is at least a good step towards finishing our ultimate goal.
So how does she feel about that, Chef?
I think she probably knows me well enough to know that I'm not going to be forthcoming with all the information, but I'm giving her a relatively
Well, it's just me and you.
good take on the. No, I'm just saying how you when you're looking at me, you're sort of getting the idea if I'm telling the truth or not. Mm-hmm. My words are still the same.
It looks like I'll have to man the crow's nest myself. I can keep an eye on the continuing adventure.
So as long as no one wanted to sneak out and be roguey in the middle of the night, you all got a successful long rest at the tavern here.
Nice.
Yeah, no solo adventure this time.
So you guys do not want to get on the Rising Starfish.
No.
Nope.
Okay, because they are leaving early morning, which is about now. What do you guys want to do? Are you headed up this river?
Well, I think we want to go do a little bit of, shopping in town in the morning, get a few things, and then once we've gathered all the, if we need any kind of rations or, I'd like to buy myself a saber and a few things, just ready for the journey. Nothing, too weird, but, and then I think we all meet back at the tavern and ready to take off.
Well, I want to go with you, Shaft, to the store.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's something that we want to role play out on that, I think all I really want to do is buy a regular saber.
Yeah. For your sake, listener, we will hand wave the shopping episode. So you guys could each pick up specifically you find a cutlass, which is basically it's
Two
not
cutlasses?
Yeah, sure. You could easily each pick up a cutlass for 25 gold pieces. It's
okay.
Literally a slashing version of a rapier. So it'll do a D8 slashing damage as opposed to a D8 piercing, and it is also a finesse weapon.
Perfect. We were really wishing to slash those wires, and a rapier just wasn't cutting it. Boom-ch.
Ba-dum-bum. Brendel definitely wants to pick up some supplies for potion making. I don't know if Falzern wanted to accompany him.
Yeah, I think I'd like to tag along. I don't have a lot of purchasing power right now, but if I can grab some supplies, I think I might want to try and start working on crafting a spell scroll.
Okay, easy. So we talked about how many sessions ago is it that we talked about. I gave you some homebrewy scroll creation rules and scroll use rules as well. So, Falzer, in consulting this little table that I created for you, I know you don't have much gold. If you wanted to create a scroll of a cantrip, that'll cost you 30 gold in materials costs. A level 1 spell scroll would be 50 gold. And then the next level would be level 2 and 3 would each be 250 gold worth of supplies. So I will, and with all of those come a crafting time as well, which varies depending on level. So if you want to, you don't have to decide what scroll you want to work on right now. Again, the gold cost is like an abstraction of like the fine inks and parchment and maybe some like materials that you would practice the spell itself with to imbue this scroll and that kind of thing. So it's very abstract. It's not something specific we're not going to say it's necessarily spell specific stuff you would be buying. So you can go ahead and spend a cost for a particular level and not necessarily have to decide what spell you want to spend your time on until you start to spend your time, I'll say.
Okay.
So what I would suggest is maybe even having like a little cue card or something where you could just note, okay, you've paid this amount of gold for a level whatever, right? Level X. And then you can also on it mark the time that you've put into crafting. And then once you have the time denoted, you would also mark down what scroll you're actually creating as well. And if you're going to go with the level 1 scroll, it'll cost you, again, 50 gold and then 2 hours in crafting time. That time, though, you can divide up into like half-hour chunks. So it's not all in one shot. You can divvy it up when you actually have the time in your adventuring kind of thing.
And if I understand correctly, I could do that while I'm taking a rest, right? Because it's light activity.
Yeah, you could. You absolutely could and still receive the benefits of the rest. Should you, though, fair warning, be in your 2-hour watch of a long rest, your effectiveness at being on watch will be diminished should you be preoccupied with another task.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm taking some concentration to copy over these spells.
Exactly.
One other thing I wanted to ask about is how much would a
woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
You are a mind reader today. If I wanted to buy an additional copy of a spell book, or an additional spell book to copy my own, how much do those cost?
Oh,
usually?
Okay. So in the player's handbook, in the items list, it says that a spell book is 50 gold pieces.
Oh, perfect. Okay. All right, yeah. Well, I will tag along with Brendel.
Brendel, being an alchemist, he specializes in the creation of potions, and he will be abiding by the same kind of gold cost and time craft time chart as you would with your scrolls. So he certainly will be wanting to craft his own potions to be able to help the party in really the only way that he can, as his magic abilities are limited to strictly a handful of cantrips that he's learned spending his time in Heraklion, whereas his studies were in different areas than yours may have been, Falzer.
Okay.
And should you complete the creation of a scroll, we can go over what happens then when it happens, just to keep things a little less long-winded here. So what are you going to spend then?
So I would like to buy the components for a first level spell.
Okay.
Scroll, and I would also like to buy a spell book.
Okay.
So for a total of 100.
And you actually notice, Falzer, in waking up in the morning, and kind of this really is the first time that you've had a need to like thoroughly go through your bag of holding to even have to use or pull out your spellbook really since Isabel's cave. When you wake up and you kind of going through it and you kind of have a brief moment of panic. Oh, wait, I didn't... Izzy still had it when we fled the cave. And as you're kind of frantically searching through your bag, it is somehow in your bag of holding. And as you are kind of leafing through it, you notice that a new spell has been added to it.
What?
The Disguise Self spell has been annotated into your spellbook. So you now have a new spell that you could prepare for the day, should you choose.
What level is that spell?
I believe it is a level 1 spell.
Okay.
Is that what she was using to look like the fat, short chick, or... right?
That is, yeah.
Okay. Not like Bryn would know any of this, but... Portly, sorry. You said portly.
Stout.
Stout? Okay.
Yeah, Disguise Self is a first level illusion.
Awesome.
Okay, and Brendel will also pick up the gold costs worth of a level 1 potion, basically. So he also spends 50 gold. So you all kind of reconvene at the Asinine Leopard, and can now go about the business that you so choose to do.
Yeah, I think our plan was to follow the river that comes into town that had this black, gooey type substance in it, and the water was very low level, correct?
That's right.
So I suggest, since we're all ready to go, let's take off and follow the river.
Well, good morning to you too, Shaft.
Oh, we've already been talking. You were just with me.
Straight to business.
It's nice to say good morning again, but sort of like walking in a hallway at work and you see somebody you just talked to 5 minutes ago, but you still say hi. That uncomfortable thing. So, hi, Bren.
Or do you check your watch to see what time it is, even though you know what time it is?
Like, make eye contact for 1 second, then just, like, both of you look away, walking towards each other.
That's right. And then, if there's any objection, let's go.
Gozer is gonna look at Brendel and kind of look, just trying to figure him out and say, "You magic user?"
I dabble, you could say, but I'm certainly not as proficient as my friend Falzer here.
You magic user.
I can cast a limited range of spells, yes.
You belong to Thuff now.
Oh?
Thuff,
I'm confused. What does that mean?
Thuff, you have magic user.
Yeah. You're my wizard now. King have wizard. And he Thuff points at Falzarin. Now, Thuff have wizard, and he points at Brendel.
So I look over at Brendel and kind of raise my eyebrows and wink and grin at him, as in, like, just play along, Brendel.
Well, of course. Thuft, I'd certainly be happy to lend my aid to you in any way I can. Perhaps I can craft you up a nice potion. Yeah. Thuff on potion. Thuff on lots of potions. Excellent, of course.
This good wizard. Let's go. And I start walking up the river, towards the river.
So as we're walking along the river here, can you describe this black, the river a little bit more of what it looks like and what this goo looks like?
So this river itself, it's another very similar actually to the one kind of you guys crossed north of Victor. It's about 50 feet across. So it's a large, and now since you can the water recession, you get a sense of the depth of it, and it at its deepest point it appears to be at least 20 or 30 feet deep. So the slope of it is very the incline is very steep. Would you like get into this riverbed? But the actual flow of water currently is little more than a stream. It's that black slime. It's kind of it doesn't look like it's mixing, almost as if it's like oil and water kind of, but there's just kind of like wispy swirls of it as the stream now is kind of trickles down in the direction that it flows eastward out to the ocean.
For those in the south, that would be considered a crick.
Oh, a crick.
So is the black oily substance, is any of it like up onto the land where it came out of the water and it's sort of over on the dry area, or is it all in the water flowing out?
It seems to mostly be contained to the water. There's would be some residue, not from like the very beginning of this river banks, but more closer and centered around the current dimensions of the flow of water. So a little bit would have washed up as this water level kind of rises and falls.
So I'd like to take a stick or something, try to get some of this black goo on the stick and look at it closer and make sure it's not. Is it just look like an oily type of substance, or does it look like it's got some kind of animated movement to it, or is it just...
As you swirl the stick around and you kind of raise it up out of the water, once it kind of breaches the surface, it kind of seems to get very thick, almost like molasses, kind of like a thickness, and it just kind of like it doesn't really seem like it's animated, but it just is kind of now slowly dripping down the stick kind of towards your hand as you have it raised in the air.
As gravity would, not as a motion.
You could kind of surmise if it had some type of intelligence that it would. You'd expect it to maybe move a little more quickly or take a more direct route to get to you if you were its target.
Right. Okay.
What you doing, Shaft?
Checking this black gunk out. We're going up to see what's blocking this river, and there's black gunk in it, so there's got to be something, strange about it. Some reason to think this stuff's the water's not flowing, and this stuff is in it. So I just wanted to check it out and make sure it wasn't something, toxic or poison, or maybe even worse, something like a creature of some kind.
You can tell by just looking at it?
Well, here, look. And I take the stick and sort of point it in her face.
Whoa,
Here.
I dodge out of the way.
Well, not at you, just sort of, here, look.
Okay.
I'm going to walk closer. I'd like to smell it. Is there any scent to it?
Why don't you roll a perception check?
13.
It smells vaguely metallic.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just keep an eye on it as we go, see if it gets to be a little thicker or different as we get closer.
Brendel, does this look like anything you've read about or come into contact with before?
No, quite an interesting substance. I would not suggest getting it on your skin just to be safe. Perhaps I shall bottle some of this up. And he rummages in his sack and pulls out like an empty kind of flask and is able to dip it into the water and avoid making any contact with it, but get a little bit of it and some river water into this flask that he corks up.
Are there any small animals nearby?
Like in the water or in general?
In general. Something Thuft could catch?
Perhaps there's like a hare maybe bouncing around, wary of your guys' presence as you aren't being particularly quiet, but nothing Thuft could catch, I don't think.
Gozer, don't put the black stuff on Thuft.
No. Bunny.
Bunny?
Throw Bunny in black stuff. See what happened.
Do you think you want me to try to catch a bunny?
Yes. Throw Bunny in black stuff. See what happened.
Alright. Do I see a rabbit anywhere, or...?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Try to shoot it.
If Bunny dead, no good to us.
16?
Yeah, you do see a hare maybe 70, 80 feet away. It's kind of munching on some grass.
Alright, I take my bow out and shoot an arrow at it.
Okay, make an attack.
Oh. Not good. 10. Oh, 11.
Yeah, that definitely hits the
okay.
rabbit. So
Okay.
roll your damage.
You mean the rabbit's not wearing armor with a shield?
Well, I don't know. 11's usually not that good. Listen, I'm new to this D&D animal killing, alright? Oh, I get to add... Okay, I added wrong for my attack. But anyway, 8? 8 damage?
Yeah, you put an arrow right into this rabbit.
Okay, I go over and bring it back to Gozer.
Bunny dead?
It's dead.
Gozer want Bunny alive! And I pull it off
Well,
the
you
arrow.
didn't say that!
And I chuck it, and I, dip it in the black stuff. I'm not gonna throw it, I'm just gonna, dip it in.
Okay.
Holding it by its ears, dipping its bottom into the water.
Its little fluffy tail.
As you are holding it in the rear end in the water here, it doesn't, the black stuff, it kind of immediately starts to cling to its fur and completely coat its bottom. Nothing seems to be happening to the rabbit.
I'm gonna try and shake the black stuff off the bunny.
So you've taken it out of the water now?
Yeah.
And you're shaking the rabbit?
Yep.
Oh no! Gozer!
Not towards me, back and forth, so it's not if it sprays off, it won't hit me.
Well, ultimately, we're going to find out what happens. All of us.
Oh my goodness.
The slime, none of it even flicks off. It seems to be completely stuck to this rabbit.
I'm gonna hold it up and say, look!
As you lift it, you actually kind of see the slime. It almost as if it's absorbed into the rabbit as it kind of slowly starts to disappear from its fur.
Huh.
Interesting.
Rabbit's still dead?
And as you hold it up, its hind legs, once this slime is completely sucked into it, its hind leg one of it starts to twitch.
Huh.
Brindle killed Rabbit.
No, I killed it.
Move. Rabbit, move.
I think that black stuff, like, look at it. It's like soaked it up and now it's coming back to life.
Reanimating the bunny.
Oh,
well,
crap.
I'm gonna drop the whole bunny into the black stuff. Just drop it.
Okay, into the river.
And then back away. And actually, I'm done with it, so I'm not even paying attention anymore. I just drop it and walk away.
Falter, you said this stuff smelled like metal? Like, what if this is how they reanimated, those metal creatures we fought in Goldham?
That's a good point.
Like, kill something, dip it in black goo, and now it's a metal...
It didn't look like the bunny became metallic.
Well,
its legs didn't turn metal, did they?
We should wait and find out.
No.
I don't know. Something's weird. Because even the people we met in the bar, whatever their names were, they said there were metal animals. I don't know.
maybe it's a magical liquid that makes you immortal. Take a drink.
Okay.
You drink first.
I would not suggest that.
What? Gozer drink?
No, Gozer don't drink.
No, Gozer, no, please,
Gozer
please,
want
no.
to be immortal.
It's much too dangerous. I do not believe immortality is imparted
Shaft,
or
talk
imbued.
to Gozer. Take it back.
I think Thuff should try it because it's important that Thuff be immortal, right? Right, Thuff?
Yeah. Thuff want to live forever. And he takes
my
a step towards the river. Brendel kind of puts his hand. No, Thuff. No. As your loyal subject, I must insist. For your own safety, you should not drink this.
I'm gonna, kind of push on Brendel's shoulder and say, "Servant no tell king what to do."
Oh, no, please, do not drink this.
All right. It's just fine. There's plenty of this immortal liquid to go around later. I mean, it's all over the place. Let's just head on up and see what else we're dealing with.
And as you guys are talking, you hear kind of a splash, and this rabbit almost like claws its way out of the water, completely covered in this black slime now. And once it gets clear of the water surface, the slime kind of again absorbs into it, and it's fully active. It looks like it's completely alive now. Around its wound, you can see it's almost like it's gone gangrenous, and it lashes out and tries to bite Thuft. And it completely misses. It's just a little rabbit, but it is now trying to attack you guys.
Do you want us to roll initiative, or can we act freely?
Someone just wants to try to put it down, I think.
Gozer will attack it.
Okay.
Ah! Oh, shit. I rolled a 1.
Oh no.
So you're gonna hit Brendel.
Or Thuft?
I'm gonna say you hit Brendel because you had kind of just put your hand on him, right, and kind of give him a little shove.
Shit. At least I wasn't raging. Oh, you're lucky. That's 4.
Oh my goodness! Please, allow me. And Brendel kind of points his finger at the rabbit and tries to firebolt it, and he is able to blast it and just kind of puts it down as it's a quick burst of fire, and the rabbit falls silent again.
I go, well, that was exciting. Let's get out of here. Let's go. And I start walking along the river.
Throw it back in the water. Let's see what happens.
Gozer kicks it back in the slime.
Does she really? Oh, man.
This is the bunny fighting episode.
No, Gozer just walks away from it.
Good way to farm experience.
Yeah, just keep
1
killing
point at a time.
Yeah, 1 point at a time. So you guys, are you traveling in the bed of the river, or are you kind of up on its shore? If it were at a full flowing river, you'd be basically walking beside it, right? Is that what you guys are doing?
Yes, on the shore. There's no reason to get any closer to that black stuff.
Yeah, I have a feeling Gozer would drink it.
Gozer is fascinated.
So you all know on your journeys here, basically you are now kind of retracing your steps. So you know you got about a day's journey along this river without hitting a blockage, basically.
Okay.
So as you guys continue, a few hours pass, and you get to the bridge that you had met those other travelers on. And continuing just down the riverbed here, you kind of get into this hilly terrain, and you basically make it, after the full 8 hours, you make it back to where you had originally fled and ended up after fleeing Isabella's cave. As you peer in the direction you're headed, you still no clear sign of what is blocking and stymieing this river.
Yeah, I think we're going to continue on until something happens, or we find out what's blocking it.
What time of day is it?
Well, it's only about early afternoon, as you guys would have set out kind of first thing in the morning, right? But again, you have been traveling now for 8 hours.
Oh.
So should you continue to move, you will have to make more exhaustion checks to stave it off.
If we take a short rest, can we not do exhaustion checks?
No, because it's more than 8 hours of travel per 24-hour period.
So we would have to take a long rest?
Yeah, you would have to cease activity.
Let's travel a little farther. Push a little farther.
I don't think there's any reason to get exhausted here. I think we should, if we've learned nothing, it's to be ready for anything to happen in the most inopportune moments. So I say we rest and have a little chat, get to know Brendel a little bit better, and then get something to eat, and then
if we take a rest, like a nice long rest, are we going to be traveling along the river at night? Like, keep going, or what do we? It's only midday, guys.
Goes are good to go farther. Goes or go another hour.
I mean, we know what's around here. We've been here before. Doesn't this look familiar to you guys?
Yeah.
No.
This is where we came out of the cave. The cave's over that direction.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of with Gozer. What about one more hour just to see if we run into the problem,
Okay, I guess I don't mind. Maybe we'll see what's happening.
Just a fresh scenery. Then, like, 1 hour, and then I'm okay with taking a rest.
All right, let's go.
So the next hour passes. So now everyone can make me a Constitution saving throw. The DC is 10 to avoid a level of exhaustion.
17.
Yeah, baby. 19.
10.
All right, so you're good, Shaft. Brendel and Thuff are both okay.
And Falzern is feeling a bit tired.
The squishiest.
4.
The squishiest of squishies gets exhausted.
Okay, so another hour of travel is about, how much is that? A couple miles probably, right? And you have yet to see what is blocking this river. Now you are kind of fully into this hilly terrain again. Well, kind of more on the northern side of this river, you guys traveling on the southern shore. It kind of opens up into more grassland, but then to your guys, it's like the south of you guys is kind of really where the edge of these hills start, and you guys are quickly getting deep into them.
So, my favorite terrain is mountainous terrain, so we can still make regular time through that area. But I would like to look around. I know you said there was other adventurers headed this direction before. Just sort of get a feel of the tracks around and see if others have went this direction, and what we're looking at.
Sure, make a perception check. You all can if you want to help.
I guess so.
17.
12.
Falzern's distracted.
Yeah, Gozer doesn't really care. Just
You need to change dice, Falzer.
So Shaft, you do find a set of 3 prints. Very quickly can put together that you passed 3 travelers on that bridge a day ago.
And those travelers, I can't remember, were they human?
They were human, yes. And you actually also do find signs of a campsite. There's a small kind of circlet of stones and some charcoaled wood that they clearly had a campfire, most likely last night. Maybe they had stopped to rest themselves, as again they would have traveled the same distance as you and not found this blockage. And the tracks do continue in the direction that you guys are taking.
And I don't see anything else around that would be like they had any kind of trouble there.
Nope, doesn't seem. You don't find any other like animal tracks or anything like that, or any other strange looking tracks. Just kind of boot prints in this kind of sandy shore of this river.
Okay, so I say we camp here. Hell, the campfire's already set up for us.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting some rest. I'm feeling that was a long day of traveling. I'm tired.
Falsy weak.
I'm certainly feeling weak right now, Gozer.
So Brindle, tell us a little bit more about how you know Falsey here. Where did you meet him in school, or?
Yes. Once he, I mean, I myself, I was born and raised in Heracleon, and I have not made it to the mainland much on my own. In fact, it's been nearly a decade since I left the island. And Falzer and I, when he arrived in Heracleon, he and I became fast friends as we grew up, and each seeking our own kind of path within the arcane aspects of knowledge.
Yeah, I've always been interested in the arcane magics. What particular school have you chosen as your main course of magic?
Well, as I had tried to explain to the intimidating Gozer and King Thuft, that
King Gozer too.
Yeah, my apologies, King Gozer. I've never been in the presence of royalty before. You must excuse me. As I never had the mind for the memorization and recall of more intricate spells. As I found my craft and my skills exceeded mostly in alchemy, as previously stated, and for some reason I just find and I get a handle on the combination of ingredients and find them much more easy and relatable. It's difficult to explain. I mean, I'm sure you all know when you just kind of find your calling, it's difficult to ignore it.
Of course. And Falzarin, what's your you got to know Falzarin through? I mean, he obviously did not choose the alchemy path. Were you guys just hanging out at school as friends?
I mean, of course, courses and interests, there's always overlap. As you'd be foolhardy to ignore all aspects of a particular trade as, again, relatable in spell casting and component assembly and use is very, very similar to potion making.
Yeah, you did mention one thing. I don't recall if Falzarin ever told us that he wasn't originally from Heracleon. So where did you move from, Falzarin?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm feeling pretty tired, and I'm usually a bit more in the mood for chatting than I am right now. But
that's okay.
True.
I'm sure you've told Brindle.
Yes. Yeah. I was originally from the mainland, but have spent a good deal of all of my adult life on Heracleon.
Bryn's gonna try to persuade Brendel to tell us about why Falzarin's so special and like his story from when he was a teenager. That was kind of alluded to.
Do you want to sweet talk him?
Yeah.
Okay, roll me a persuasion check.
15.
What would you say to sweet talk him?
So Falzarin is quite squishy and tired, but you just look so strong and you look ready to just, hang out with us all night, wink wink. And I put my arm around him and I say, how about you tell us that story about when Falzarin was a teenager? I love awkward tween stories, like where'd he come from? Why does he think he's so special? Bat's eye. Eyes.
Brendel kind of, holds up a fist to his mouth, like, to cover a cough, clearly displaying his wedding band. Yes. I met him. He arrived on the island as a young teenager. I'm sure that's no secret, Falzer.
Yes, that's true.
But there was more than that. There was something happened to you as a teenager, remember? And I'm going to get my new cutlass out and persuade Brendel.
Whoa.
That's more of an intimidation, not
Where-
persuasion.
Okay, well, whatever.
Look, there's no reason to kill somebody for a little story about Falzarin. We can all just make up our
I'm
own
not gonna
story
kill
about
him.
Falzarin. Well, you're brandishing your weapon. I'm a little concerned here.
I'm just-
Brendel, you've nothing
I just
to fear.
pulled it out of its sheath.
Look,
Do I get to
Bren.
roll an intimidation or not?
You can. Yeah, okay. Roll an intimidation, and Shaft, can you roll a persuasion?
Sure.
I think Falzarin is going to be, despite feeling tired, stepping closer to Brendel to perhaps intercede if there's any hostility about to happen.
I rolled a 12.
I have a 10.
Nothing great.
Okay, hold on.
This is why we don't talk when we camp.
There's just so much that, like, Bryn knows there's so much more, especially from talking to Brendel for all the time she did. She's so annoyed.
Thuft pulls both of his short swords. Hey, you stay away from my wizard. He's my wizard. Thuft, ask him questions. You, wizard, my
He's
wizard.
got a brooch.
I speak up and say, look, guys, here. Long story short, I had some interesting things, some unexpected and kind of unusual things happen to me when I was in my teens, and it's given me a bit of an ability to learn magic maybe more easily than the average person. There's no need to go into all the details right now. I don't think. Maybe tomorrow when I'm
You
feeling
don't
a bit
think?
better. Look, I'm tired.
Who cares what you think?
And I
Had
think
a long night to be
Brendel's
awake
not
thinking
appreciating
about
this type of treatment. He's just met you folks here, and we don't need to be exchanging fisticuffs or swordicuffs.
Hey, Thuft, intimidate him. Come on, I know you can. I've seen you in the shop with the owner.
Thuft say, he Thuft wizard. Thuft ask questions when Thuft wants ask questions. Now, Thuft wizard, sit down. And Brendel, he's just kind of, almost like trying to hide back like a kind of a smile as he listens and he sits down. No, please, there's no need for any of this. I mean, surely Falzarin, experiencing surviving a shipwreck it certainly leaves an impression on one, especially as a young man in your formative years. I quite frankly am not sure how you really got over that trauma and were able to dive into your studies. I mean, I suppose that the studies themselves may have been a great distraction and maybe what saved you perhaps from falling apart. I mean,
Yes, you've always had keen insight, Brendel. I think you hit the nail on the head.
near-death experiences are not something that I am accustomed to. And
Do I believe him?
you can roll an insight.
8. Bill's smiling so big because my roll was 2.
Oh wow, that's a
I'm,
good
I'm
insight check
proficient
you
in
have,
it. I know.
yeah. You don't have any reason to doubt what he's saying. I mean, Falzarin is
course
also seeming to back up his story as well. And he's, despite the hostility in the air, he seems to be remaining quite calm and, trying to keep things settled and not really cause much more of a stir as he's seems to have already caused.
I'm also wondering, why such burning interest to know what I was doing in my teenage years, guys. You all haven't been all that forthcoming with what's happened in your lives.
I'll tell
leading
you.
up to now.
Brendel said something that happened in your teenage years is why Isabella was interested in you, and Isabella is why we're in all this mess right now.
All right, hold on a second
I see.
here. I reach into my bag and I pull out some of the meat from the inn and I go, let's just all have some of this delicious meats and be quiet for a little while and let this all settle out.
Gozer grabs a chunk of meat.
Yeah, there you go. Here, Thuft, have some meat.
Yeah. Stuff like me.
Yeah. Brendel, would you like a piece here?
Of course, quite splendid.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Bryn's gonna
I'd take a
refuse
bite.
meat, but go sit down a little ways away, 10 feet away or something, and start sharpening her new cutlass.
I think I was just looking for a good old drunk story. That's something that you did in your youth. I really don't care about the rest of it. Sorry about that. Here, have some meat.
Thank you, Shaft. Let's leave it at this. There was something that happened, as Brendel alluded to. I was out in the sea in a perilous situation where I could have drowned.
Wait. Let me stop you right there. I really don't care.
Okay.
Let's just move on. I don't want to put you on the spot here, buddy. You and me, I don't need to know any. No reason in visiting some childhood trauma and telling old Shaft here, because I'm going to forget anyway, and I really don't care. So, here, let's just eat your meat, and we'll get up in the morning and head out and figure out what the hell is going on with this river.
That sounds like a plan, Shaft.
No problem, pal.
Okay, so we can set up some watches here. So Brendel will certainly watch with you, Falzarin.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. Unless anyone else wants to go first.
Are you going to write some of your little spell things down?
I will be, yeah.
Well, I'll stay up with you. That way I can keep a close eye on everything since you're going to be distracted.
Well, I mean, Brendel will also be with him too. But
Oh, okay.
Will Brendel be making potions, though?
that is a good question. Do you ask him that?
Well, I guess, if Shaft is offering his help, yeah? She's like, Brendel could pay attention. Right, Brendel?
Yes, certainly. I'd be happy to. I mean, I could certainly benefit from some crafting time myself. I mean, perhaps I could concoct some type of potion that would be useful to one of you. I'm not sure if any requests, as the bards are fond of saying.
Yeah, can you make any kind of alcoholic beverages?
I'm not sure. No, that's a little different. I'm afraid I didn't pack my brewer's kit with me.
Can you make a beverage that'll make me feel like I just drank alcohol?
Perhaps I could scrummage some skunkweed around here and
Gozer want to fly.
want to fly.
Gozer want to fly.
My goodness, why
That's her way of saying getting really wasted.
No. Gozer no want ale. Gozer want to fly.
Well, I'm afraid I don't quite have the components on me to craft such a high-level potion, but perhaps once we get back to Port Randus, we can acquire the
Thuff,
materials.
your wizard useless.
Thuff wizard's not useless. Thuff wizard, you make thuff potion of doggy. Make thuff potion of doggy. Why, of course, King. I could surely craft something up for you.
Okay, sounds good. So me, Falzarin, and Brendel are gonna take first watch?
Okay.
If you think so, Shaft.
No, it's just dusk now, and
Okay.
I'm not really all that tired yet, so...
We've got
This isn't making sense.
3 more watches after that, though.
Yeah, I need 2
How are we
watches
going
to
to divide
trans.
those?
Okay. Alright, you guys stay up. I'll go to sleep.
Makes sense to me. Bryn just goes over to a trans.
Okay, Brendel Falsey. First watch. So, once everyone's gotten to sleep, Brendel will just kind of, speaking quietly, not to wake everybody. He's like, I can watch Falzarin, as there really is no potion of doggy.
Yes, I was kind of wondering about that, Brendel.
So please, dive into your craft, and I shall keep watch.
That sounds great. So I think I want to first focus on trying to copy over spells from my original spell book to this new one I bought. I think that's probably the most important thing for me, the highest priority for me to get done first.
Okay. So when you copy spells from your book into a new book, according to the wizard class instructions, basically this is like replacing the book, right? There's a little excerpt there on page 114. It costs you less time and money to do so, as you already know these spells. But you spend 1 hour and 10 gold pieces for each level of the copied spell.
Okay.
And again, that 10 gold is like the abstract of the quality inks and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, certainly that 50 gold that you spent in components could be applied to basically 5 levels of spell, right? That you wanted to copy over.
So when it says that it takes 1 hour and 10 gold per level. How do cantrips factor into that? Are they considered?
Cantrips don't go into your spell book, like because they're because the threshold of knowledge needed to memorize them is significantly less than a leveled spell. I don't think they're actually in your spell book, right? Just your leveled spells. So you always know your cantrips, right? That's why you don't have to prepare. They don't go against your prepared number of spells for the day. So cantrips you don't have to worry about. So basically, I don't know how many first level spells are written into your book.
So right now I have 10.
Okay, so to fully move all of those over, it would be, a total of 100 gold and 10 hours of time to do so.
Okay.
So for this watch, you could spend 20 gold and the 2 hours of the watch to put in either 2 first level spells or maybe a second level spell that you have into your new book.
Yeah, I think I'll do the 2 first level spells then.
Sure, that's easy.
So I'll start a second cue card and keep track of how much progress I've made with that as well.
Okay, great. And the first shift kind of goes by with Falsey doing his work, his annotations and scribbling and murmur of incantations, and as Brendel kind of sits and keeps watch. Who's second watch?
Gozer was second watch.
Okay, so Gozer and Thuft. Thuft not really like Thuft Wizard. Can we switch, King?
Oh, I don't know. The Gozer doesn't really like your wizard either.
Thuft doesn't like any wizard.
Maybe we find new pets.
Maybe. What will we get?
Don't know yet. We have to find something.
Okay. For now, Thuft keep his wizard, I guess.
Yeah, Gozer keep her wizard. They do some good. Well, my wizard do some good.
Thuft really want Potion of Donkey.
Does Thuft know what that is? Is that thing?
Thuft think it would make a doggy.
Oh, that could be our new pet.
Oh yeah. We should get doggies.
Yeah, doggies would be good. And then when we go to the mountain, we have doggies.
Yeah, we have more doggies.
Yes.
Then they could be friends with the other doggies, the mountain doggies.
Yes. Gozer likes this idea.
Yes, stuff like wizard now.
Only if wizard make potion of doggy.
Well, stuff just kill him if he doesn't.
Okay, good plan.
And your guys' watch also kind of goes by.
Okay.
And so third watch is usually Bryn, right? Because you were fully tranced now, right, Bryn?
Yeah, I'll do 3 and 4.
Okay. Yeah, the third watch again kind of passes very, very quiet, just kind of the gentle trickle of this now stream. And last watch, are you waking up Shaft at all?
No.
Okay. Just in case you two maybe wanted to have your own private conversation or something, but
Why bother? He's not gonna tell me anything. He's not gonna do anything but annoy me.
and dawn breaks and the sun begins to rise as you guys are now all fully rested. So Falzer, your level of exhaustion is gone now.
Perfect.
So we're not waking up at night. We're waking up in the morning, like we did more than 8 hours.
Well, you guys were kind of sitting around chatting as well around the campfire.
Okay,
so
okay.
yeah, absolutely, I'm sure. We'll just push it to morning.
Sounds good.
Okay, after a quick little eat and talk, get all our stuff together and follow the... I think I'm going to suggest we follow the river and hopefully the tracks of the adventurers.
Follow the
prior.
Black Creek Road.
Okay, so you want to follow the tracks, then why don't you make me some survival checks?
Wait, you want to follow the tracks, not the river?
No, we'll follow the river, and I'm going to watch for the tracks, and I would
okay.
assume they're going to go the same direction, but if they go off...
Currently, they do seem to be in parallel with each other.
Let's see, survival, that's a 17.
Okay, anybody else rolling for me?
Sure.
Nope.
21.
12.
Those who are looking do pick up the tracks as you continue walking down this river, and they do seem to be in tandem as the tracks are, whoever made them also seeming to just follow this river.
I'm just going to keep a close eye and see if any other tracks converge with theirs or if they separate. Just other than that, just keep on going.
Okay. So you get to a point another couple miles in, and the hills kind of gets more sheer on your side of this riverbed, as the river almost seems to like kind of cut into some of these hills. So the tracks, they kind of you see that they kind of move to the far side of the other bank of this river, just trying to avoid the elevation in the new terrain here as you move more into these hills.
Is there more black goo? Is there?
Yeah, the
same
water
amount?
is still tainted with this slime.
But does it look like it's getting thicker as we go, or more prevalent, or is it about the same flow as way downriver?
Seems about the same.
Okay. Is it in clumps? Like if there would be a moment where you could pass between these clumps, or is it a steady flow?
Seems like a kind of a steady flow.
How deep did you say the river looked at this? At this point, how?
It's about 6 inches deep.
Okay, so it's pretty easy to walk through, and
Yeah, you could easily wade through it. Yeah.
You want to walk in it, Chef?
yeah, I think as long as we feel that we can walk around this black stuff, I'd rather not get any on me.
How wide is the flowing mist?
I think I had said it's
Like 50 feet?
a couple feet. No, the river itself. But then this little stream has now been reduced to only 2 or 3 feet worth of the kind of this.
Why cross it if we don't have to, Shaft?
We could jump over it.
Yes, you could.
Why do
easily.
you feel like we need to jump over it?
Well, the wall's sheer on this side, and the tracks go to the other side of the river. That's why.
Okay, sorry.
That's why we're heading. We're sort of following where they went and along, and still along the river. So.
Cliffs don't scare me. I can just scale them, you know?
Okay. Well, you can scale that cliff. We'll pop over to the other side and watch you. So. I'm gonna jump over.
Okay.
Yeah, I follow them.
Okay. Yeah, everyone can easily kind of just hop over it. Maybe with a bit of a running start, they can make it.
That's the best river crossing we've ever had.
Oh man.
True.
Easy peasy.
Even with bridges, we've had problems.
So you guys, I don't know. Does anybody want to tie a rope around Brendel? I don't know. Maybe he can't make it.
Can Bryn, just to show off, cast jump on herself and jump like the 33
launches
feet?
over.
33 feet, and she's like on the other bank, like, come on, guys.
Gozer's gonna toss stuff across.
Okay. So you guys you easily jump over. You do notice like the prince. It seems like the prince they just didn't even bother jumping. Like they just waded right through this as they continue, and you can continue following them and the river on now this northern side of the bank here.
They
So you're
didn't do a
saying
bunny experiment.
They
so.
didn't jump. They didn't jump the black liquid part.
No.
It seems like their prince they just had waded through.
So if Bryn notices that, then she's going to be on extra alert for some sort of weird
Yeah,
human.
Falzarin as well. I'm gonna be keeping an eye out now. I'm a bit worried if these people walked right through that.
And that's our show. Our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. For your own musical inquiries, contact jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. All other music and ambient noise is courtesy of tabletopaudio.com. The Incorrigible Party is sponsored by Critical Hit Design. Visit criticalhitdesign.com for all of your graphic design needs. You can find more info on the characters and world at incorrigibleparty.com. Enjoying the show? Have any questions or rules corrections? Email us. contact@incorrigibleparty.com or reach out on social media. The Incorrigible Party on Facebook and Instagram, @IncorrigiblePar on Twitter, using the hashtag AfterPartyIP for a shout out during our behind the screen after party episodes that drop every 4th release. Happy adventuring! 5 short days ago in Victor, around the same time the party had said their farewells to the Grung, a ghostly, transparent figure drifts through the wall of a small building, settling over one of the many bodies quarantined in the structure, awaiting cremation. These dead having succumbed to the Victor illness. The figure slowly sinks down, entering one of the deceased.
The body's eyes open and it gets to its feet. Still clad in the patient robes of one of the treatment clinics, the now spirit-inhabited body takes in its surroundings. Approaching the padlocked door of the exit, the inhabited corpse raises its hands, uttering a quick incantation, gesturing methodically and meticulously. A thunderous boom erupts from its hands, blasting the locked door off of its hinges with the powerful crack of a thunderclap. The corpse smiles, its visage unfamiliar to you, listener. As it leaves the makeshift morgue, you see a flash of this body's true inhabitant. As in addition to the party, you too, listener, are considered to be the true inhabitant's adversary. The corpse's physical features flicker again and again until all you see is the grin of Sardo the Revenant.